All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 2014 Triumph Street Triple R. I've owned this bike for a little over a year. This will be my second riding season with this bike. Let's talk about what makes this Street Triple R Street Triple R. I think probably the most defining feature is probably if you're staring at the side of this bike, is we've got kind of a triangle going on. I think that is probably the characteristic that you see. We got the aggressive fairing, we got the aggressive seat going back. You could put a passenger on here, but that's no fun. We got a nice big 4-gallon tank, and of course probably the most important part about this bike is the inline 3, the 675 cc's of Fury. I think that's the thing about the bike. Let me go ahead and just jump straight into some of the modifications of the bike that I've done to it, as well as the great stuff about it. So if we roll over here to the front, we have an OEM part. Does not come stock with the bike. We got this front-facing cowl. A little expensive for a piece of plastic or fairing or whatever you want to call it, but hey, that's part of, I think, probably one of the best features of that. Then we have the bug eye look, which I think came in with the 2013 model. I think prior to that, the standard just round headlights. I know when I got mine from the dealership, they had an option of, hey, if you don't like these bug lights, we can give you some nice big round ones. I wasn't down for that. I like the bug looking lights. I think that just kind of separates you from all the other bikes out there that have those rounded headlights. If we swing over here, we have some bar end mirrors. Obviously not stock with these. These are, again, OEM Triumph mirrors. I think they actually add some nice visibility, as well as a nice toned down look in terms of, these stock ones that it came with. These are just giant bunny ears that stick out. Not really that flexible, maneuverable, no mobility with those. They kind of just, they're there. These, they're to the side. Elbows won't really get in the way. Nice, good view. Some other modifications I got on here. We have the tech spec tank pads. I would say this is easily one of the most noticeable upgrades that I've put on here. It'll keep your thighs nice, hugging tight. You won't be sliding around your motorcycle. It'll make just long commutes easier because you'll be nice, sit in. You won't be sliding around in your turns. More of a safety feature that we have here next is the frame sliders. I went with these Puig frame sliders. So there's all kinds of options out there in terms of frame sliders out there. What I really liked about these is, forbid the worst ever happens and you do go down with the bike. Hopefully these save you. Hopefully I don't have a second video that says check this out because I crashed. But these are designed so that if you do take a spill and these grind down, that part's actually replaceable. Don't know how much it is to replace those, but hey, that's a nice little thing to know that you can put that out of the way. If we come down here, over on the corner, underneath here, I got the rear chain carbon fiber little tail protector right there. Just a little bit of style. If I were ever to do a track day, that's there, something that's required if you ever do that. If we swing around to the other side, the most awesome upgrade I've had yet is this Competition GP Works slip-on with a black velvet finish. They offer several colors. You could go more of a glossy black, a gold, silver, chrome. They have those options, but I felt like this black velvet just really complements this matte phantom black that I already have going. We'll give you a little sound in just a little bit. The next big, I wouldn't call it big, small upgrade, but big impact is these 20 millimeter bar risers. So that really is more of a comfort factor, a little ergonomics. So if you're going on those longer commutes and rides, you'll definitely feel a difference in terms of arm placement, muscles in the shoulder, feel a little bit more relaxed. That's all the upgrades I have. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, this is my second season going into this motorcycle. I have about just under 4,000 miles. I think with any review or comparison, you definitely have to take in rider's knowledge. So this will be my third year riding, second year with this motorcycle. Prior to owning this, I had a Royal Enfield, a Bullet. So if you're not familiar with that, it's 500cc, single cylinder, not the most powerful of bikes. So going from that to this, day and night. This bike is faster, it's got bigger horsepower, better handling. Just there's nothing about this bike that you could say was worse than that. So in terms of my experience, this bike, if you're paying 10 grand for a bike or for any bike, it should be everything you want it to be. This bike is everything I want it to be. Getting onto the freeway and I just need to go, get up to 65, maybe 75, maybe 85, you know, get past those cars, those cagers. This bike does it just fine without a hiccup. You see someone, you know, on the road you don't like, you're already going 65, 75, power through every band. You're going to pass that person. You're going to feel comfortable on this bike. Turning, handling, again, no comparison from the last bike I had. This bike will turn when you want it to turn. It'll rev when you want it to rev. It'll go when you want it to go. If there's any complaint that I would possibly have, it'd probably be on the dashboard. There's two buttons on there in terms of, you know, you can cycle through your miles per gallon, your miles, what your current MPGs are, how many miles you have left. You know, real standard stuff on that LED. But there is a second button and you can really start cycling through things, and you really have to take time to play with that, read the manual, otherwise you'll just get lost and you're just gonna turn your bike off, turn it back on to reset it. The stock exhaust, I think it's more of a preference. It is a little on the quieted side, maybe more of a whistle, which is really a distinctive character of it, and some people really like that. I wouldn't say I didn't like it, but when I think of motorcycles, you know, I truly think of like Harleys. You know, I like to hear the bike. I want to hear a roar. So that's what led me to get the Competition GP Works slip-on. It obviously does not make it sound like a Harley, but it does give you a little bit more of a growl, a little bit more of a presence. And I'd say if you're looking at this bike, I'd say if you're hitting the track days, definitely go for the R. I don't do any track days, so I'm not taking advantage of what the R gives you in terms of the adjustable suspension. You do get the bigger brakes, which, you know, I guess helps. Bigger brakes is going to give you that more stopping power. But I've once heard people say, hey, if you weren't going to stop your bike with the standard brakes, the bigger brakes probably wouldn't help, and you're going to spill and burn. It does have the ABS. Both models do, the non-R and the R. If you're maybe a little bit shorter person, the R is actually higher by, I want to say, maybe an inch or so, because it does have that adjustable suspension. So if you're looking for something a little bit lower to the ground, definitely don't go for the R version, especially if you're not going to hit those track days. There's a new Street Triple RX. I mean, I don't think there's anything new or much better about it other than the seat. Seat does look a little cooler in terms of that being the more aggressive Daytona. I'd go for that if it wasn't $1,000 more, but hey, you got the money, go for it. Nothing but good stuff about this Triumph Street Triple R. You want it, go get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know why you tuned in. I know why I tune in for the rides or you know, for the reviews is because let's hear what this puppy sounds like.